Thank you so much, Jay, for coming to our show.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that you travel all the way from Edmonton to here and share with us what is going on with Edmonton right now. OK， 咁啊，首先咧，頭先咧就係真係再次歡迎阿 Jay 啦。咁我第一個咧就直接問佢啦，究竟疫情前？我唔會講疫情後啦，因為 Edmonton、Alberta 都仲係未即係仲係個疫情咧都幾熱下噶嘛。咁然之後咧，即係佢喺個疫情期間同疫情前咧係點樣咧咁樣。So Jay, I know you have been in the business for a long time. I don't know how long.
About 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
You're still young.
Oh, okay.
So let's tell me what you know like your 15 years of experience in Edmonton. Then you hit then you hit COVID. We all hit COVID, and then during COVID. So give us an idea, because when we all talk about Alberta, it's basically is Calgary and Edmonton. So we want to check about like give us an overview what is going on during your career and what is the changes. So let me just quickly translate that into Cantonese. 而家就最主要就係話咧，佢15年來嘅經驗。就算係疫情前、疫情後點樣呢？好啦 ，Jay, here you go.
Okay, so thank you first of all having me in here.
Of course.
I appreciate that. It was a beautiful opportunity to come to Vancouver and enjoy the rain.
Thank you, of course. Thank you.
So Edmonton is, everybody think about Edmonton as oil and gas, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately, it is more than just oil and gas. As you know, I moved to Edmonton in 1992 from Singapore and to go to school. And after finishing my education, I made Edmonton my home. Edmonton is actually a very, very beautiful place. It's small, yet it's big. Right, we have about 1 million people in there, but it's almost the size of Singapore in terms of the size of the city. Edmonton has more than just oil and gas compared to what people say. We have a very, very high health sector there. We have the government sector there. Now we have the IT and the AI sector coming up over there. And we also have a pharmaceutical sector. Do you know that Edmonton is the only city in the country where we have an actual pharmaceutical manufacturing company?
No, I don't.
Yeah, we have.
You are druggy people.
We are Gilead. We have Gilead there that actually produces Tamiflu and all the other vaccines and other drugs there. So we have a very good diversified sector there. So people always think about Edmonton as just oil and gas. It's actually more than just that. Oil and gas obviously is the biggest sector there,
Yes.
but there's a lot more growing sector that's coming up in Edmonton.
Okay, great. Let me translate that quickly. Okay， 咁咧阿 Jay 咧就喺1992年咧就從新加坡咧就去愛民頓度上學啊。OK， 上學之後畢業完之後咧就留喺度啦，因為咧佢覺得愛民頓咧係一個好漂亮嘅地方，一個城市。咁多數我哋都諗咧就係講一聽到愛民頓咧就係講緊啲油啦，係咪 oil and gas 咁樣油啦？但係其實咧就唔止喎。佢同我講喎，佢話嗱，第一我其實有一樣嘢我哋都好清楚嘅，佢哋嗰個health care 嗰邊啦，個 health 嗰個健康嗰個制度嗰邊啦，然之後咧個 government 啦，就係嗰個政府嘅架構啦，有好多啲科技啦，然之後即係醫療嗰邊又好啦。咁佢話仲有一樣嘢咧，就最主要嚟講咧，就我真係唔識啫，就大家可能會知道嘅就係話咩咧？愛民頓咧係成個加拿大出manufacture 即係製造咧藥最多嘅一個地方，唯一一個製藥嘅城市，所以咧變咗佢哋嗰度咧就真係好多啲 vaccine 啊、疫苗啊，所以好多嘢咧都係喺佢嗰度製造嘅。咁但係當然啦，個 oil 咧同埋個 gas 咧就始終咧都係一個係大嘅業即係嗰個產業喺嗰邊嘅，即係大家都知道咧就係愛民頓咧就係 oil 同 gas 呢樣嘢嘅。Okay, so from the time that you get into the business to when oil was like $100 dollars per barrel, to drop like 2005 around there, no 14 or 15,
16, 17, yeah.
That's right, and then you hit COVID, and then now. Can you give us an overview the market? So I'm just quickly translate that. 最主要嚟講咧，就係想佢哋咧就係話，佢15年之間期間，成個愛民頓嗰個走勢係點樣樣咧？ Yes.
One of the things that we noticed in Edmonton and perhaps Alberta in total is that it's not a very fast appreciation city or a province. You don't get the same level of appreciation on your real estate from, let's say, in Vancouver or in Toronto. But having said that, there is appreciation. The appreciation in real estate in Edmonton tend to be more towards your inflationary rates, right? Over the years, of course, real estate has gone up in value. I would say 10 years ago, the average price is probably 350,000. Right now, is 480,000, right, for a single family home. So the market does appreciate, but it doesn't appreciate at the same level as what happens in the other bigger city like Vancouver or in Toronto. So any investors looking to buy real estate in Edmonton should not just look at market appreciation as a key factor. Market appreciates over time, over a long period of time, but cash flow is the key.
OK，so 嗱，阿 Jey 嘅意思咧就係話咧，如果我哋去愛民頓嗰度做投資咧，千祈要唔好似喺温哥華咁嘅思維，即係話咧希望咧佢哋嗰個增值能力咧好快，佢哋通常嘅增值能力咧就係隨住嗰個inflation 嘅咁所以咧嗱，如果 inflation 而家咧就大家知道咧係比較大啲啦，咁之前嗰個 inflation 咧就係細啲啦，咁所以變咗咧，如果你去買物業嘅時候咧，譬如一個獨立屋啦，10年前咧嗰個平均價咧大概35萬，而家咧就大概48萬，而家講緊獨立屋啊，咁你真係獨立屋啊，我哋連個 condo 啊studio 啦咁上下咧先可以話50萬樓下，咁但係咧佢哋可以買到一個獨立屋㗎啦。So now if that is the case, like I want to ask you is that I actually have been having a lot of relocation people moving from Edmonton to Vancouver. So are you guys losing people or are you actually losing but more go in and things like that? So now who is supporting the market right now? Let me translate that quickly. 咁我咧就話我自己咧就好多啲喺愛民頓咧過嚟温哥華嘅買家嘅，咁我就問佢啦，我話愛民頓而家係咪失人口咧，定係失之時亦都有人搬入去咧？咁樣乜嘢嚟到支撐住愛民頓嗰個市場咧 ？Yes.
We have seen it both ways. We have seen a lot of people moving to Edmonton from Vancouver and Toronto. We have seen a lot of people move from Manitoba, from Saskatchewan, and from Halifax into Edmonton, primarily for work purposes. And of course, we also have seen middle management people move out of Edmonton to Vancouver and to Toronto because they got a job promotion and they move out there. So Edmonton is one of the youngest city in the country. I believe the average age is about 35.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I'm a senior over there, although I'm already am.
Both of us. So you can see, because the average age is so young, we have a lot of millennials there, and we have a lot of younger people there, primarily renters. They're mostly renters, and most of them come there for job prospects. We have seen people move to Edmonton without a job and rent a place, and 3 days later they got a job, and a good paying job too, either in the IT sector or the medical sector or in the manufacturing sector or even in the oil and gas sector if they're coming from Saskatchewan or other parts of the Eastern Canada.
So 佢嘅意思咧就係話咩咧？有人走，亦都有人嚟嘅，即係去愛民頓嘅。佢見到咧就係邊啲人去愛民頓啦，好多人咧就喺温哥華啦、Manitoba 啦、Saskatchewan 啦、多倫多啦，咁啊全部咧啲人咧都去愛民頓喎。咁我話去到愛民頓做乜嘢咧？多數咧就揾工啦。去揾工嘅時候，所以咧愛民頓咧就好多啲後生嘅去。咁啊後生去嘅時候咧，佢哋平均嘅歲數咧35歲，即係我去到咧一定係變咗老人家啦嚇。咁然之後咧就35歲，所以咧非常之多啲千禧年嘅啲咧就搬咗去愛民頓。咁佢哋咧就可能即係咁嘅情況之下咧，佢哋即係冇咁多錢去買物業啦。咁所以佢哋多數咧就係租物業啦。咁嘅情況之下咧，因為佢哋咧一租完之後咧就即刻去揾工，佢3日之後就可以揾到工㗎啦。揾工又揾得咁鬼快喎。咁再加埋咧佢哋啲人工咧都幾唔錯嘅。咁所以變咗咧就係佢哋咧就多啲租客喺嗰度啦。So when you tell me that they go to Edmonton to buy, to work for working. So mostly are renters, like you mentioned earlier. What kind of can you share with us? What is your average salary? Like things like that.
It depends on the sector. Edmonton does pay much higher than the rest of the places, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people move to Edmonton because the pay is good and the cost of living is very low. I mean, for right off the bat, you do not have HST there. You only have to pay the 5% GST.
Yes.
And because Edmonton is still a small city, everything is relatively easy to get to, and they're fairly cheaper. So the average pay, I mean, obviously the minimum wage is $15 there. But the average pay, I believe, depending on the sector. So if you're looking at oil and gas service sector, we're looking at around $70,000 to $80,000. Right, for an individual, depending on the type of job they're coming in for, right?
That's right.
A starting job could be around $50,000, right?
Okay.
So it's really hard to say what the average job pay is without knowing the actual sector.
Yeah, but what about those IT kids?
IT kid, I believe what we have seen, again, it varies. I've seen anything from, I've seen people actually come down here from other parts of the country, other parts of the world for a job in Edmonton in IT, and they're making over $100,000.
Wow, okay. Yeah, so I mean, my Indian kids here, definitely 6 figures.
Yeah.
So 咁我問佢啦，我話嗱，如果啲人口啦，咁喺愛民頓嗰陣時候咧，有咩特質咧？咁想話俾你聽，人工係幾多錢啊？佢話人工咧，雖然咧佢哋嗰個每一粒鐘咧就15蚊，但係咧佢多數嚟講咧就係唔止嘅。咁佢話咧就如果喺油嗰個 sector 裏邊嘅啲 oil and gas 嗰度咧，就多數咧7萬到8萬蚊一年啦。咁點都好啦，你入行咧點都有5萬蚊一年㗎啦。咁如果你細蚊仔咧，正所謂我咩叫細蚊仔咧？啲千禧年嗰啲啊，即係同啲 Amazon 啊、科技啊嗰啲翻工嘅時候咧，佢哋咧就6位數字嘅人工嘅。咁但係咧，佢哋嗰邊嗰個生活水平咧就比較低啲啊嘛。咁同埋愛民頓咧都係一個細啲嘅地方，佢1 million 100萬人咁左右嘅啫，所以咧去到邊度咧都幾方便一下嘅。咁所以變咗咧佢賺錢可以咧，佢哋可以咧就可以儲到好多錢嘅。So if that is the case, okay, me.As an investor, now this is an investment program, okay? We're all talking about making money.
Absolutely.
All right. So you said earlier that, okay, we cannot expect too much of the capital gain. What kind of return on investment, cash flow are we expecting? Let me just translate that. 咁啊，頭先咧早開始嘅時候咧已經講咗啦。OK， 如果你想要增值嘅時候咧，你就唔好諗住喺愛民頓啦，即係愛民頓你一定要長線嚟到投資。OK， 咁嗱，你話唔增值咁快啊？唔係話佢唔增值，佢唔好咁增值咁快啦。咁如果咁嘅情況之下咧，佢又話會有個現金流喎。咁我現金流係點樣樣咧？個回報率咧 ？So share with us what kind of a return?
The return really depends on individuals and their individual plans. I mean, it depends on their down payment on their property, depending on how much they're paying for the real estate. I can tell you about myself. My wife and I own several real estate.
Mostly you're a rich man, man.
Mostly single family, right? Hey, we're in the business, right?
Yes.
So on average, we're receiving between 10 to about 15% return on our investment. And
monthly?
No, annually.
Okay.
Annually, and that's basically based on the kind of investment class that we are investing in, which is primarily single-family home, right? In neighborhoods where we can get that kind of a return and that kind of a real estate rental rates.
講佢嘅意思咧就係話咧，佢話 OK， 唔好講其他啲人啊，就講佢自己啦。你知啦，好多時啲客咧就話，你買乜嘢，我話買乜嘢咁樣嘅，咁啊即係邊有咁多錢咧？即係周圍買係咪？咁啊，我哋當然啦，自己梗係會有物業嘅。咁啊 Jey 咧佢話咧，佢所有嘅物業咧 ，so all of yours is single family. There's no townhouse, nothing whatsoever. OK， 佢自己咧就淨係買獨立屋嘅啫。佢獨立屋咧個回報率咧就大概一年咧10到15% 回報率，咁都幾好喎呢樣嘢係咪先？即係你有嗰個 cash flow 啊，就算你嗰個 appreciation 係即係增值係慢嘅時候咧，咁你至少咧你每年嘅時候你有10至15% 回報率。That is very very attractive. And what price point is those single family home? Can I still have the same? I mean, the price. I mean, I don't expect you just bought. I mean, you bought it a while back, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so if I buy today,
it's actually better now because the interest rates are also lower.
Right.
So definitely you're taking advantage of that environment completely as well. It was slightly better for us because back when we bought those properties, you only had to put 20% down. Now they're asking for 35% down, right? So different levels.
35% down for
investors. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So again, if you're buying it all cash, that's a completely different story altogether again. And we do have lots of investors who are buying with cash down because the real estate value is still low. So my properties, for example, they're all averaging around say that $350,000 to about $380,000 in value, right? Obviously, that's today's value from all my properties, but we bought them, several years ago, and we try to buy at least one property a year to keep our portfolio active and growing.
OK，咁佢嘅意思咧就原來有一樣嘢喎，咁我問佢嘛，佢話你以前買落嘅時候梗係平啲啦，咁我哋而家買嗰陣時係咪真係貴咗咧？有冇咁嘅回報率咧？佢嘅意思就係話唔等於係平冇咁好回報率，其實而家咧應該仲好，因為而家嗰個利息咧就低到不得了。OK， 咁再加埋咧就以前嚟講咧，佢買嘅時候咧就20% down payment 嘅啫，而家咧就35%、35% 嘅 down payment 嘅。如果你買嚟收租嘅時候，咁所以佢話佢而家啲屋咧佢係大概35萬到38萬咁左右，咁所以變咗咧就佢覺得咧係非常之好嘅回報率嚟嘅。Now if that is the case, okay, what about if I don't want to, like 350,000, 380,000, I still think that is too much. What else can I buy? Like duplex, townhome, condo?
Yeah, there's all kinds of properties out there. I mean, there's single-family homes, there's there's condo apartments and townhomes, and then there's also units that has a main floor and a basement unit in a single-family home. We call it our suite single-family homes. So there's a lot of opportunities there. You can buy a home in Edmonton for an apartment for $100,000, and you can also buy a house for $2 million, right? But we're talking about what we did was we did our analysis. We figured that the best return on our investment is if we buy a single family home in that price range that I just told you about, we can get the maximum return.
Okay, so like 350 to 380?
350 to 380 is a very good investment return income this year, right now.
For single
home.
family home,
Yes.
OK, and OK， 咁佢嘅意思就係話，當然啦，你買 condo 又得 ，duplex 又得，乜嘢都得嘅。但係咧，佢覺得咧，因為佢自己做呢行，佢亦都自己係一個投資者。佢哋計過條數咧，因為有時太太係做物業管理添啦，咁計晒條數咧，佢覺得咧，如果你買一個獨立屋咧，35萬到38萬左右嘅時候咧，個回報率咧係最好嘅。So what are the good area for this price point?
For that price point, you're pretty good at we are always recommending the west side and the south side of Edmonton. We feel that those areas have much more opportunity for growth, and also the homes over there tend to be a little bit more newer, so your cost of maintenance is a lot more lower, and your ability to get a family to live there is much more better. We tend to focus more on family tenants because we feel that family tenancies, we usually be able to get them a little bit more, about 4 years of tenancy. People move there because the kids are in school, they're close to the shopping and the amenities and stuff like that, so they like to live in that same community around there. So we find that that's probably the best part of Edmonton, which is the south side and in the west of Edmonton.
OK， 佢嘅意思咧就係喺西邊同埋南邊咧就係最好嘅，同埋佢哋嗰啲物業咧係比較新一啲，咁再加埋咧佢哋中意咧就揾啲租客咧就係家庭嘅，因為家庭嘅時候咧佢哋可以租耐啲，咁啊4年啊左右咁樣樣。咁好啦 ，so let me want to ask you one thing. We have rental restrictions. Restrictions meaning rental increase, on the rates and things like that. 2022, we only can increase 1.5%. I tell you, man. So is there anything like that in Edmonton?
No, you'll hear more from Stu later on. We manage about 1,000 single-family properties in Edmonton, and we are right now raising rent at 2.5%.
Okay.
We have no rental restrictions. That's the best part of Edmonton. We have
the rate-wise.
Yeah, rate-wise or any for that matter. We have a rental tenancy act, but there's no rent control.
OK， 咁佢嘅意思就係話啦，我哋咧就好似話齋啦。2022年1月開始只可以起1.5% 嘅租金，佢哋嗰邊咧係完全冇嘅，完全冇呢個控制嘅。咁再加埋咧，即係佢哋而家咧一直咧都係即係起嘅咧都係2.5% 以上。咁即係基本上咧就係記得啦，大家我同之前咧另外一個嘅專業人士咧就係由 Calgary 嗰度嘅，亦都係講話供求關係啦，供求需要嘅時候有貨冇租客咁啊，梗係唔起得啦！好多租客冇貨嘅時候咧，咁即係你點起都冇問題啦。咁就有呢個嘅好處。So I really appreciate what you told us today and share with us today. So do you I just want to know is that three takeaway things. As an investor from out of town, what would you tell us?
When you're looking at buying a real estate in Edmonton, look for the location,
location,
look for the condition,
condition.
and look at the price.
OK，佢話
And I'll give you one more extra bonus.
OK，
Okay? Plan your exit strategy. Because if it doesn't work out for you, you know how fast and how quickly you can get rid. So how you plan your exit strategy will depend on what you're buying.
OK，so that would be the extra strategies to be number one。
Yeah, plan
Yeah.
with the end in mind.
OK，咁佢話啦，我話俾幾個 tips 我哋啦。如果我哋係即係想有朋友咧就想去嗰邊買嚟做收租嘅時候咧，佢話首先第一樣嘢你一定要去睇下，如果你覺得唔中意，你賣得快唔快？OK， 總之咧，即係入得快，走得亦要快。因為咁嘅情況之下咧，呢個係第一樣你要去考慮嘅。第二樣咧就係咁咧，就會去決定咧，你究竟係買邊個區。第三嗰個物業嗰個condition。第四就係個價錢啦。今日咧就非常多謝咧阿 Jey 同我哋咧分享咗愛民頓嗰個 condition 嘅。Thank you so much for sharing all this great information. So next I'm gonna have your wife to share with us about the property management situation. Thank you so very much. I'll talk to you guys later on.
Thank you, Tina.
Bye.
Bye-bye.